The problem here is a quadratic type equation, and I can tell that because I see the three terms, and more importantly, if I double the middle power, I get the first power back. So if I multiply -1 times 2, I get -2. That's your telltale sign that you have a quadratic type equation. Since it's a quadratic type equation, I'm going to try to solve it by factoring. All right, and you know, if you get jammed up and you can't think of what two numbers multiply to x to the -2, you can solve this one by substitution. So let's take a sidebar over here. Solve by substitution. And what you do is you take the middle variable and let some other variable equal that. So I'm going to let n equal x to the -1. If I square both sides, I get n squared equals, and let's think about this. If I square here and square here, and I raise a power to a power, I multiply. So before I factor, I can go ahead and substitute, and it may make the problem a little easier to solve. So instead of x to the -2, I'm going to type in n squared plus 3, and then x to the -1, I let equal n. Solve it out now by factoring. And it's a little easier to see what multiplies to n squared. Multiplies to +2 but adds to +3. And then solve for n. So I get n equals -2 or n equals -1. The problem, though, is the problem is asking you to solve for x. So you need to go back up here, and where you let n equal x to the -1, you're going to take out the n and put in the number -2. And then solve for x. So I'm going to raise both sides to the -1 power. And when I take x to the -1 to the -1, I multiply the powers together. Or x to the +1 equals -2 to the -1 power. You can use laws of exponents. A negative exponent means 1 over, or take the reciprocal of this base, or you can use your calculator. Either way, you're going to see the answer there is -1/2. If I do the same thing with the second answer, let n equal -1 equals x to the -1. Raise both sides to the -1 power. So on this one, I can raise a power to a power, multiply the powers together, I get x to the 1 equals. And then this -1 exponent means 1 over this base, which happens to be just the number -1 again. So your two solutions are -1/2 and -1.